Now, as somebody who's been building wealth for the past 4 years, I've identified 15 habits that have been key in getting rich. You see, I was late to the game. I was 47 years old when I stopped being a consumer and started building wealth for my family. So here are the 15 key habits that I've learned from mentors and successful people that are making me rich, and they can do the same for you. Living below your means is an absolute critical habit that you need to learn to get rich, and there are several reasons why. Right now, chances are you are trapped being a consumer, paying a small fortune each month for a fancy home, a nice car or two, and all the trappings of a nice life. It's an easy trap to fall into, and most of us do it without even thinking. And as you earn more money, guess what? You spend more money. This is lifestyle inflation, and it creeps up on you without you even noticing. Most people in the US are living below their means. They're indulging in a lifestyle that they can't afford, and they have to work long hours to sustain it. The only way to break free from this trap is to live below your means and to invest the balance into appreciating assets for long-term wealth. These could be paper assets, it could be physical assets, or it could even be a successful business. Living below your means and investing for wealth is fundamental to living a rich life. Investing consistently is another fundamental habit that you need to start to get rich and grow wealth. Bottom line here is you can't break free and live a rich life without investing consistently. It's the magic of compound interest that can grow your money so you can live on the interest while the principal continues to grow. As the greatest investor of all time, Warren Buffett, once said, if you're not earning compound interest, you're paying it. Investing consistently over time, whatever the market conditions, is a habit you need to start today if you haven't already. The stock market, real estate, retirement tax-free accounts, work out what's the best vehicle for you. I, for one, invested in all three of those vehicles to maximize my long-term wealth. Investing consistently is simply playing the numbers. Eventually, you're going to be rich. Now, whether you're living on a tight budget or you have a large disposable income each month, paying yourself first is a habit that goes hand in hand with investing consistently. You need money to invest. So before you pay your bills and your expenses, pay yourself first so you can invest for your future. Paying everything else first gets other people rich, and the goal here is to get you rich. So every month, put aside an amount to invest before you do anything else. Now, I'm not saying don't pay your bills and don't pay your expenses. They need to be paid, but you need to pay yourself first. Without cash, you can't invest. And if you don't invest, you'll never build wealth and get rich. It helps me to look at it this way. Saving and investing is a mandatory expense like everything else. Trust me, don't sell your dreams short. Pay yourself first. Now, to absolutely ensure that you do pay yourself first every month, you need to automate your finances. Life is far too busy and hectic for you to remember more things to do. Adding to your busy list is just not a smart thing to do. We need to make this easier. So set your checking account to transfer your salary each month where it needs to go to. A monthly transfer to your savings, your investments, your bills and your expenses. This will guarantee success and it will keep you consistent without even thinking about it. This is a set and forget job. Once it's done, you won't need to worry about it and it'll be one less thing on your plate. That's a good thing. Now, to ensure you've got enough salary each month to cover your savings, your investments, your expenses and your bills, we need to get disciplined with spending. There's absolutely no point in setting up order payments on your salary if you're going to blow half of it on a shopping trip that you think you deserved. Impulse spending and emotional shopping is a challenge that some of us need to get over, myself included. It can take work, and you may need to employ some strategies, but you can get through it. Ultimately, if you can avoid the bad financial habits that have got you to this point and adopt new good ones, you'll be on track to hit your goals. Now, I used to be a sneakerhead. I had so many pairs of shoes. So how I broke the habit is I introduced a 30-day rule. The rule was quite simple. If I saw a pair of shoes I really loved, I wasn't allowed to buy those for 30 days. If after 30 days I really wanted them, I would allow myself to go back and buy them, if they fit into my budget. But 9 times out of 10, I didn't have to. But just like magic, 9 times out of 10, I didn't follow through with the purchase. This strategy saved me thousands of dollars. And you know what? I can live without the sneakers. It's had zero effect on my happiness. You should try it. Now, running in tandem with the 30-day rule, I also track my expenses to stop overspending. Now, do I track every single dollar? No, that's not for me. I'd rather focus on installing good financial habits than tracking every single dollar. My long-term goals don't involve retiring early or going on vacation every 2 months. I want to be financially free and independent, but I fully intend to carry on working. My work in my business gives me joy, gives me purpose, and gives me challenges to overcome. But I want to continue working on my own terms, not because I've got bills to pay or a mortgage to cover. So my budget doesn't measure every dollar. I track my spending and see where I can make savings. We stay invested into hitting our goals and living below our means. We track the bigger expenses, and going over our checking account for any unknowns goes towards cutting out wasteful spending, which then helps to boost our savings rate. So the takeaway here is track your expenses, make the savings, but don't get too obsessive. So this next one is another Captain Obvious, but a very important habit if you want to get rich, and that is avoid consumer debt. There are many forms of debt, and not all of them are equal. Wealthy people will leverage debt for income-producing assets that will make them more wealthy. But consumer debt, high interest debt, is the worst, and it should be avoided at all costs. With consumer debt, you are buying stuff that provides no income and it depreciates in value. Your purchases are making other people rich, and they're sinking your finances at the same time. Consumer debt can often grow to unmanageable levels, with interest building on top of interest. It's one of the worst financial habits to have, and it's a real wealth destroyer. Avoid it at all costs. And if you have consumer debt, your number one priority is to pay it down as fast as you can. Diversifying your income is another habit that rich and wealthy people have, and broke people don't. The reliance on a single income from a job or another source is not enough, and it leaves you in a risky position. Rich and wealthy people develop multiple streams of income that can support your lifestyle. If one of the income sources gets compromised, the other ones can pick up the pace, providing you with security and stability. When you think about it logically, having one source of income really doesn't make sense, but most people are exactly in that position. Other income sources can be anything from an online business, a side hustle, a part-time job, income from the stock market, even a rental unit or two. By developing more than one source of income, not only are you providing more money to invest, but you're also providing yourself with a financial security blanket for emergencies. And as we all know, emergencies, large and small, can come up on a regular basis. Taking calculated risks comes part and parcel with growing wealth and getting ahead of the crowd. There's no getting rich and building wealth without taking risks along the way. Now, I'm not talking about wild or big risks. We're not gambling and we're not leaving anything to chance. We're talking about calculated risks that play to your strengths and resources that can get you ahead. Investing in a business, investing in the stock market, even investing in yourself can be a measured approach that provides an opportunity to prosper. We minimize risks by doing research and due diligence before we make any bold moves. But it's often those bold moves that will improve your financial state and your lifestyle. Taking risk is all part of being successful. Another key habit that's making me rich is developing a learning mindset. That is, to keep learning about finances and how best I can manage them. Your finances, if built in the right way, can provide you and your family a lifestyle you've never dreamed of. But we need to be educated in finances to be good at it. The way I see it, the more I learn and understand, the better I can manipulate my environment to give my family the best life. And I can develop skills to increase our wealth through financial education. Now, I understand finances is not the most exciting topic, but it's all for the benefit of your family. The financial landscape is constantly evolving over time. It's an excellent habit to keep up to date with new income streams that could be developed. It's also good to keep up with those pesky taxes, they keep on changing. And taxes is our next good habit. Being wise to your tax obligations and making smart tax choices is a very important habit that you need to develop. I'm sure you've heard the term. It's not what you make, but it's what you keep. Keeping up to date and informed on the various taxes that you will encounter as you grow your wealth is really important. Even if you have a great accountant, it's a sound investment of time to educate yourself. You can learn about how to reduce your tax liability and the tax laws you can take advantage of. There are tax accounts, deductions related to assets, and a whole host of credits you can be eligible for. Taxes, a boring habit to develop? Perhaps, but really important in your wealth building strategy. Managing your self-discipline may not be a habit that you need. You may be disciplined enough. But if you feel you can be a bit more disciplined, this is a habit that we need to learn because it all relates to consistency. And building wealth is all about consistency. Being disciplined will spill into all aspects of your life and certainly be a factor in your working to build wealth. Whether it's getting up early, working late evenings, working on your health, or developing strategies, being disciplined and consistent is something you need to embrace. And yes, there's going to be some hard work ahead. There's going to be some late nights, and for sure there's going to be some sacrifices. But being disciplined for me is keeping me on the path to success and my goals. And if it comes down to motivation and discipline, I'm disciplined all the way. Being disciplined rather than motivated is an easier path for me. I give myself no choice. But if motivation works for you, that's a great choice too. Use what works. Now, time management will always be a habit that successful and wealthy people will master. After all, when you're working towards some big life goals, trying to raise a family, hold down your job, and trying to get a bit of time to yourself, you have little choice. Now, we've all heard the phrase that time is money, and building assets for a rich lifestyle. You're literally trading time for money. I had to learn to prioritize what got me the best results with my time and my money. You simply can't do it all. But I like to turn that into a positive and focus on what matters and get the best result for the resources I have. So prioritize your productivity over just being busy. And it's a habit you can hone with experience and goal setting. Another really important habit that's making me rich is to practice gratitude and to be grateful, focusing on the positives around us and the blessings we have rather than what we don't have has helped me more ways than I can count. And cultivating an abundance mindset, knowing that the opportunities and the resources are plentiful, has been a game changer. I can't really explain how, but the more grateful, helpful, and positive I've been, the more opportunities I seem to have attracted to me to get to the next level. Things have literally fallen into place, and the people we've needed to get to a destination have appeared. Being positive, grateful, and appreciative has been a true game changer. Now, there was a time when stepping on or over people was the way to get somewhere in life. Hopefully, those days are long gone. So be positive, grateful, and generous to the people around you. Now, leveraging people and resources is something I've had to do more often as I've increased my sources of income. Quite simply, the more things I've had to do, the less time I've had to do it. So now I prioritize high value activities that produce the biggest results, and I'll outsource the low value activities. Again, time is money, and leveraging people and resources to get to your financial goals is something wealthy people have always done. By focusing on high value tasks that generate income and growth, I can maximize my potential. So over time, I've learned to step back and let the team do the heavy lifting when I need to. After all, there are certain tasks that only you can do, and certain roles you have to take. All I say is with experience and time, learning when to leverage will get easier. And if you're looking for a new income stream, or maybe two, to add to your own income, then watch this video right here. I'm going to take over all my income streams and a new one for 2025. I'll see you in there.